I Wanna Rock exclusive clip. Dee Snider goes into battle with Congress over Metal's explicit lyrics. In a look at Paramount Plus, I Wanna Rock docuseries, Twisted Sister's Dee Snider recalls how he testified in front of the Senate over music's First Amendment rights. September 19, 1985, is a date that holds a place in metalheads' hearts. The day that music went to war with Washington. That day is recounted in the second episode of Paramount Plus docuseries I Wanna Rock, the 80s metal DREAM. In Hollywood Life's EXCLUSIV sneak peek at Episode 2, Twisted Sister frontman Dee Snider remembers the day he testified before the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee over implementing a rating system over music lyrics. Conservatives decided to rate rock records. Dee says in the clip, "This was a crack in the First Amendment. The call came in to testify before the Senate hearing," says Dee. "I thought I was being asked to carry the flag into battle. Dee, we want you to lead the armies, the rock and roll armies, into battle. Hell F. King yeah." From there, I Wanna Rock shows the classic footage of Dee walking into Congress in a denim vest, a studded leather belt, blue jeans, and pure confidence. "They really thought they were going to make a fool out of me," says Dee. "You really should have vetted me a lot better." This moment was one of 80s metal's highest or lowest points, depending on who you ask. I Wanna Rock, the three-part docuseries on Paramount Plus, details how heavy metal took hold of America in that decade and how it faced many challenges throughout the 80s. Drug use, sexism, congressional hearings, and changing musical tastes. While the first episode detailed the rise, the third will channel the fall, with grunge and alternative slowly taking over the spotlight once held by spandex and giant hair. I Wanna Rock premiered exclusively on Paramount Plus in the US and Canada on July 18. It'll hit the streaming service in the UK and Australia on July 19, with further international markets to follow later this summer. I Wanna Rock premiered exclusively on Paramount Plus in the US and Canada on July 18. It'll hit the streaming service in the UK and Australia on July 19, with further international markets to follow later this summer. I Wanna Rock premiered exclusively on Paramount Plus in the US and Canada on July 18. It'll hit the streaming service in the UK and Australia on July 19, with further international markets to follow later this summer. As for what Dee spoke about in Episode 02, the 1985 hearing was in response to the Parents Music Resource Center, a group founded by 4 women with political connections. Tipper Gore, wife of Senator/Vice President Al Gore. Susan Baker, wife of Treasury Secretary James Baker. Pam Hauer, wife of Washington Realtor Raymond Hauer. And Sally Nevius, wife of ex-Washington City Council Chairman John Nevius. The PMRC is known for publishing the Filthy 15, a list of songs with lyrical content that they found objectionable. The list included: the PMRC wanted similar ratings for records as there were for movies. A go for occult themes, S for sex, D for drugs, V for violence. With 9 songs making up the Filthy 15, Dee spoke out against the possibility of a government body determining what was suitable for public consumption. 2 other musicians, Frank Zappa and John Denver, joined Dee in opposing governmental regulation. The beauty of literature, poetry, and music is that they leave room for the audience to put its own imagination, experiences, and dreams into the words. The examples I cited earlier showed clear evidence of Twisted Sister's music being completely misinterpreted and unfairly judged by supposedly well-informed adults. Dee said in his testimony, "We cannot allow this to continue. There is no authority who has the right or the necessary insight to make these judgments. Not myself, not the federal government, not some recording industry committee, not the PTA, not the RIAA, and certainly not the PMRC." Before the hearing ended in November, the RIAA agreed to implement the now infamous parental advisory stickers on records. Snider has never shied from expressing himself. In 2023, he inadvertently found himself in the center of a political controversy after weighing in on a post by Caius member Paul Stanley about trans kids. Paul, 71, said that because a little boy likes to play dress-up in his sister's clothes or a girl in her brother's, it shouldn't mean that parents should lead them steps further down a path that's far from the innocence of what they are doing. Dee shared the statement, adding, "There was a time where I felt pretty too. Glad my parents didn't jump to any rash conclusions. There was an immediate backlash, with many taking Paul's comments as anti-trans/transphobic and Dee's words as condoning those sentiments. I saw what Paul said, and I essentially agreed about him, saying kids aren't ready to make those decisions.